everyone, Ivy League Gaming here, and today we're playing Watcher of Realms. For today's video, we're going to do a hero guide on Estrid, but we're going to bring in our special guest, Win the Grey.
The finest blood for the most untainted soul.
So you guys might remember Win from the Shamir video. Really smart, really creative at using heroes in wonderful ways. And well, he's going to be showing us and talking about using Estrid in like 3 or 4 different builds to get some really cool utility out of her. Don't worry guys, it's not as crazy as the Shamir build. All of the gear is, I guess you'd say not stage 19 gear, so it'll be a lot more relatable for people. But yeah, she is a hero that I don't have, I've never played with, and a lot of people don't have her, right? She is one of the rarest to summon heroes. She's actually the only OG hero epic that I do not have. The only one. You're going to see I don't have like Vladov, who is newer in Chaos Dominion, makes sense. I don't have Draga, who is kind of even, is she even in the game really? I don't even know. And same thing here. Philippa, also a newer hero. So I don't have them, but she's literally the only one out of all of the OG epics that I have never pulled on my account. I've done a lot of summons, guys. You know, you watch my videos. I've been summoning a lot. So it's funny. We were watching, me and Odd1 were watching a content creator who's very nice. This is not a dig at him. We were watching a content creator and he was talking about Estrid and playing with her. And he's just like, on like Twitch or something. He's just like, why does nobody make guides on Estrid? She's so good. I don't know why people don't use her. And I want to be like, because nobody has her. But luckily we have a 10 times event this weekend, along with the Gwendolyn summons with her involved. So if you're summoning for Gwendolyn, she is the epic on the 10 times banner. You have more chances to pull her and duplicates of her if you are going to go for Gwendolyn. So that might be an extra reason to go for Gwendolyn. Plus, keep in mind, it's kind of like an expensive 1+1 event, so to speak. Worst case scenario, you're going to get 1 legendary on the way, plus get Gwendolyn, right? That's the worst case scenario. But more than likely, hopefully, you'll get 2 legendaries, maybe even more, and then Gwendolyn as well. Or you can pull Gwendolyn early, and the event's just done early. But Estrid as a consolation prize, I think is pretty solid. So that's a little talk relevant to the current event for Christmas. But let's get into her kit and taking a look at her overall. So it doesn't matter when you're watching this video, Christmas or not. Let's take a look at Estrid. Chiseled like granite, this muscle-clad beauty has a chance for a double strike with each basic axe attack. So she is a single spot here, 2-range fighter, but she does have an increased range with her Awakening 1. So that's important to know. Her talent, each basic attack launched, has a 25% chance of triggering 2 strikes in a row. Her basic attack is just a physical damage to one enemy, 100%. Her ultimate increases attack speed by 70. Each attack deals 240% AoE damage to enemies in range. This effect lasts for 15 seconds. And her passive, each attack launched has a 20% chance of inflicting defense reduction upon the enemy. So defense reduction's amazing. Minus 20% defense to the enemy. This is just another form of like helping your whole team to do more damage because it's going to be a lot easier to take out your enemy, especially those big boss fights. She is going to be really strong to help enable a team and not only do damage. She is, like most fighters, she's pretty cheap cost-wise with only 16. And again, her Awakening actually lowers that. So let's take a look here. Her Awakening 1 is solid value, bringing an extra range for her attack, like Ain would be a good example. Crit rate here, plus 5%. Awaken 3 during the effect of Blade Storm. There's a 25% chance of landing 2 strikes in a row. And cost minus 2 with Awaken 4. And Awaken 5, Rage Regen plus 30%. Against penetrated enemies for 5 seconds. So that we're going to talk with Win and bring him on about different ways to build her. So pay attention to how important those awakenings might be depending on her build. And this is going to be a really fun conversation. It's using a character very wisely and just, yeah, taking them advantage of her kit and how strong she can be and even endgame content in very solid but not unattainable gear. So I'm really excited for this 10 times. I do want to pull her, of course. Why wouldn't I? A really not strong northerner hero. There's a lot of northerners being added to the game lately that are immensely strong, and she is definitely one we should have on our rosters. So let me cut to that conversation. All right, and now I am joined again by Win the Gray. You guys probably remember him from our Shamir video, which was super fun. Thank you for joining me again.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me.
So, as we all know, Estrid is one of those heroes that is rare to be summoned. But finally, they're actually putting her on a 10 times banner, which I love that about this game. They might have secret hidden not boosted, suppressed rates, but then they put those people on 10 times banners. I've been really happy to see that.
Yeah. I think Estrid is a really exciting and interesting hero. There are 4 different things in her kit that I think that you could each optimize on, and that would change her kit depending on which direction you wanted to go down and specialize in. And so she's a fun hero for that purpose, and that because you can move her through the different phases based off of what you need. She's got a lot of different utility.
All right. Yeah. So I have no experience with Estrid ever. I've never built her on the test server. I don't have her on my account. So yeah, that's why you're here. You've used her. Have you had her for a while? What's your story with Estrid?
I have had her for a while. And I've thought about her periodically. I just started putting soul stones into her about a month ago, skilling her up. And so I've only been using her for a couple of weeks. And I've been playing with her about since that time. So I think like I said, I think there are 4 ways that you could build her. The first would be a standard single target damage. You want to do, Night Terror or Infernal Roar, and just, attack, crit damage, attack, and just hit things as often as you can and as hard as you can. And so that's probably going to be the early game use for her. But eventually her role there is she's going to be upstaged by like a Salazar or a Valeria or an Ardia or somebody like, one of the legendaries, if for no other reason that they've got higher base stats, right? Okay. She does have the base stats of a legendary. If you compare her,
seems pretty solid, yeah.
Yeah, so she does do a little bit better, but they get like 4 skill ups on the first skill, and she's an epic, she gets 2 and stuff like that. So she's simply just going to eventually get outshined in the single target DPS realm.
Okay.
So another way to use her would be an AoE. She's got a pretty decent AoE skill.
Yeah, her ultimate, right? Yeah.
And so that's a good way to just clear things out. So you would do like Curse or maybe Ageless Wrath or one of those sets to try, or maybe even Sticks if you've got it. I don't have very many good Sticks.
Yeah, me neither.
But then you would want to have some good rage regen from subs and stuff like that to try and crank up the repetition of that ultimate.
Okay.
And her 5th awakening builds into that, right? She gets a 30% rage increase based off of her when she's attacking a target that's been defense broken.
Okay.
The 3rd way that you could build her is what you see here.
Yeah, what you have here. Yeah.
Which she's got really good health for a fighter. She's got decent base attack, so that means that you could pour health and attack into her with Glacier runes and end up with pretty decent bruiser stats. So that's what I've got here, is that she's sitting at right about 50,000 hit points, 55, and so with the Glacier set, that means an extra 3,000 attack. That gets her up to about 16,000 attack, and so she's got decent stats there. I sacrificed a little bit of crit damage to accomplish that. But she does good damage as a bruiser. And then the 4th way that you could build her, eventually once you've kind of upstaged her completely, off the account is you start building her as a support hero, more like a Dolores instead of a fighter. You know, she's got a chance to defense break every time that she hits. There's a little bit of RNG in that, so that there's unfortunately no break lines for how fast you need to make her. But if you start getting into the 1.5 attack, 1.5 seconds attack interval would be about the slowest I would make her if you were building her for a support hero. 1.4 is better, 1.3 is better, 1.2 is even better. But the as you move that range, you're going to get faster and some more chance of the defense break before the previous one expires. It lasts for 5 seconds, so you basically have to trigger that, proc
try to as much as possible. Yeah.
Right, and so that's where I think that she's going to settle into in Endgame, is that you have a good fast attack interval on her to defense break, and the mindset there is that she's doing a little bit of damage, but her primary role is to boost the damage of the other heroes that are attacking the same target.
Okay, so yeah, so she's kind of, it sounds like she's got a solid enough kit to be versatile. Maybe she's not like the best at anything though, right? Like, would you say she's top tier fighter for any one niche, or not necessarily?
I would say that I would compare her side by side with Wrath.
Okay, which was great. Yeah, we love Wrath.
Yeah, the area where Wrath is going to shine over her is his self heal, and so she's going to need a healer of some kind.
Okay.
So yeah, so she's a good solid epic. You know, I would say that she's probably in the top tier of epics fighters. And
yeah,
like I said,
it's just like you said, legendary. She just, like most of them, would get outshined. Fair enough.
Right.
Okay. So she is cheap to place too, and getting an awakening in her gets her even less. So she's only 14 to place when you get that awakening. Which, I mean, as someone who's rare to pull, I think she's a smart use of soul stones. That's kind of the people you want to save them for, the ones that are hard to pull, right?
I also think her A1 is really interesting.
Okay.
It's an extra reach of attack range.
Ooh, I love that.
Instead of only 2. So she's more like an A, and you put her behind a tank, which is really
so
good
much better. Yeah.
And that helps in her support role. It helps her in her AoE role. You know, so that's a pretty fun awakening too.
So you think, as far as if someone got her early on and they didn't have a ton of hide stones or the soul stones, just putting 1 into the awakening is solid enough to get to a pretty good use out of her?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I do think that I don't regret any of the soul stones I put into her.
Okay, that's good.
She's
rage regen. Yeah, so this you'd probably want if you were going like the other builds you were talking about, where you want some rage regen.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So I do have a couple of videos where I show her. I've got, we watched the Torodor boss fight from Void Rift, where I used her standing behind King Har's.
Okay, so this will be, if you guys saw the Shamir video, this is him also here as well.
So, and this one, she's a bruiser build, not a DPS build. She's got a it takes advantage of her reach, so she's standing behind King Har's. And her major contribution is the defense break. Shamir doesn't need the defense break; he's a magic hero. But I also placed Wrath, and so his damage is increased by the dint of her being there.
Okay. Is she going to come up at the top, or I'm guessing then?
Yeah, she's going to be up.
Okay.
Up top.
So there's Shamir. We'll let that roll. Yeah, I really love the fighters that have an extra range. Even just 1, it makes such a big difference. It's so huge. Oh, and you can put Velk too there. Interesting. Oh, but you're going to do that when the boss starts coming for her?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so King Har's and her. That's really smart, because, getting... The stall is so important, I found, for the harder stages with Torodor, just making him not move for a bit. And then you could add some damage.
Yeah. And so Estrid's there. She's reaching past King Hearts with,
Yep.
and she's doing 25 to 30K. It's not super exciting. During her ultimate, it pops up to 60 or 70.
Yeah.
So, and that's how many attacks can you pack into that attack? That window.
Still impressive. It's Nightmare Void Rift at the end of the day. It's endgame content, really hard content.
Yeah. You are going to see she gets completely demolished, though, by his area of attack.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the hardest part with Torodor is, like, the fighters seem to not last long after he comes and starts smashing.
Yeah. So,
but a few hits in, that's still fine. Oh, yeah, she's still there. And there she goes.
Break in his window.
Okay.
Lasting for a good chunk of the fight.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my attack interval is 1.4 seconds right now, so she's a little bit slower for a pure support build.
But that's really smart. I mean, the adding the defense is going to help you kill him faster. The defense down. So,
right.
Yeah, really
and
smart.
I think that's kind of fun too, from a just a faction perspective. Is you can have her standing behind King Harz or Isolde, who can actually do some decent bruiser type damage if you put them on glacier runes.
Oh wow!
And then so she boosts their damage. I think pairing her with Isolde is a really good trick that you can use for a lot of things. Isolde actually does really good damage if you gear her on Glacier, because one of her awakenings, she gets a 5% of her attack or health into attack.
Interesting, that's true. I didn't even think of actually trying to make Isolde do damage.
Yeah, and then if you have a 6% from her Glacier, all of a sudden 10% of her, 11% of her health gets converted to attack. That's you can build a lot of attack into Isolde without realizing it.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's really smart. Lots of love for the Northerners lately. That's been a trend, which is interesting. Yeah, and it's really cool. There's been a lot of amazing Northerners added to the game or coming out of the woodworks, like our friend Shamir here. But yeah, even just her and not like a full damage build, she's still pumping out almost Velk. She's only 1 million behind Velk there. Obviously, she did more those, but she did more work.
She also contributed to Wrath and King Harz.
Okay, true. All right.
With the defense break. Do you have the campaign clear? That focuses more of her AoE. That campaign stage says that you're not allowed to bring more than one mage. So I say, okay, why bring any at all?
Oops, let me get that full screen. Okay, campaign expert 8-12.
Yes.
Okay.
So.
Oh yeah, this one's annoying.
Yeah.
It's one of those that are annoying. Yes, I remember these.
Yeah, anything that has people diving into the pools of water and then coming out mutated is kind of frustrating.
It's like where you always put like Wrath or someone at the bottom. Are using her in that role, like kind of stopping them at the bottom?
Nope.
Oh.
She's about to get placed here.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna let them come through because they're gonna come through on multiple sides. So you got to cover both. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, no. The other one goes to the other side. Okay. Isn't it better to try to stop them before they even go through in the first place, or does it not really matter for this one? Yeah.
This one, I don't think that she needs it. She's built tanky enough, and she's got a decent enough AoE that she just kind of clears them all out with her ultimate.
Oh, that's cool. Smart.
So.
Oh yeah, and they do come from both sides. So at least instead of having to have multiple fighters on each side, you just have her in the middle, and then she does both jobs.
Yeah. And the other thing is that she's not self-healing.
Okay.
So if you were going to have something way away from a healer, I would want to put, like, they keep on changing the name. I think it's like Chaos Visor or something like that. But the
oh yes, okay.
Her heal.
Yeah, the one that people put on Cerberus.
Yeah, to block the extra
Lunar Visor. Yeah. Lunar Visor, I think.
Yeah,
something like that. They keep that's right. Something like that.
Yeah. So here, pop her ultimate. She clears everything out. So she may not be doing 600k in one attack, but if she does,
but she's holding it enough. And the couple that are going by, there's Oleg there ready to stop
Mhm.
them.
And,
then we
she
have...
still gets done in the AoE.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. The AoE. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. I didn't think about putting someone there to cover, but I'm so used to trying to cover both. But when you get in the higher stages, when you can't place, we have a limited number of people being able to be placed. It's even harder. We got only 6. It's really rough.
Yeah, so you can see those really big physical damage numbers popping up
Yeah.
from left. So yeah, so she's a good solid hero.
Yeah, and she's not even in anything crazy. This is not like the Shamir guide where we have 700 attack speed. It's like, this is just showing her in a pretty attainable, normal build, good glacier gear, but it's not like it's insane, right?
Right, yeah. I like to put my epics on what I consider mid-game gear. So nothing from a gear rate that is higher than 18. You know, no gear rate 19 sets. And yeah, I think that kind of the game was designed to be done with epics, and then legendaries are just supposed to be the sprinkle of fun through the entire thing. You shouldn't have to use legendaries.
That's how it should be. I agree. I love that. That's what I love about Dragonair 2. The other game I play is the rares and the epics are genuinely great to use. Like, yes, the legendaries can speed things up and help you get to the end game a little bit faster, but it doesn't mean you can't clear content. So that's some games just kind of ignore that.
Yeah. Yeah. And so this is I want to showcase her defense break on this one. So at the bottom left of the boss's attack bar, you'll see the little icon, and you know right now she's got a 1.4 second attack interval.
So she's in different gear for this one.
No, she's the same gear.
Or same. Yeah. Oh, okay, it's the same. All right.
The glacier set that you showed, it was a little bit faster than you think it was. So yeah, but yeah, so she's kind of a hybrid between the bruiser and the end game build. And I'll be making her faster as I move through. I picked up from a bucket the idea that you placed a tank after the boss's toes cross the line.
Yeah, I've always done that. Yep, exactly.
That lets you pop in a fighter.
Yep.
Completely surrounding him and just beating him down.
Oh, there's Gluttony too. Love it. So this is like your all epic clear, except Volca.
Yeah. Gluttony and Voroth are, I think, the 2 best heroes there, just hands down, because of their area of effect.
Okay. I just built my Gluttony. I kind of forgot about him. Maybe I should actually pull him out. After the buff, I forgot to use him.
Yeah. So watch for the defense break icon start and how much uptime he gets with 1.4
Oh yeah, it's
seconds.
staying up really consistently. It just goes away for a second, then it's right back.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's so helpful. It's like the vulnerabilities, and the same reason we use them. It's just...
Yeah. And so if you get the 1.3, the 1.2, she's going to be, maintaining more uptime on that.
How much attack speed do you need for those kind of numbers?
She's actually pretty similar to Shamir.
Okay, so you do need a lot, yeah.
Yeah, I've got 300-ish attack speed on her right now.
That's not crazy, though.
1.4, right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because Shamir we were trying to get like down to 1, so that was another level.
Yeah.
But this is fine at that. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. Really solid. Wait, let me go back to where did they have the... here we go. Yeah, so there was a bunch of fighters in there. Gluttony, oh my goodness, yeah, Gluttony, go Gluttony.
Yeah, Gluttony is actually, he's a really good hero.
Cool, that's good. Get him involved. I need to do that too, oh my goodness. Especially, yeah, in areas like AMR where the smashes can really just destroy you in that stage 18. Like, you really need some good HP on your people at least, right?
Right, yeah, and that's why I think a bruiser build for her
it's smart.
The way that I decided to go is just because I wanted to do some epic clears of stuff. So,
okay, I like it. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the 10 times event. I'm really happy that the game is adding another hard to pull. Like when they gave us greed for free. They've done the 10 times with demos. They've even Hollow, who's a little bit harder to pull, Dolores that everyone wants on their roster. So the game's doing a good job with that. And I think she's a solid addition.
Yeah, I do too.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for letting me take a look and discuss with you, because I wanted to hear from someone who's actually played her before instead of just doing a few tests here and there. But it's obvious she can shine and be just fine in endgame content like the hardest stages of campaign and AMR and even Nightmare Void Rift. So she can hang, right?
Yep. She's a good solid epic.
Awesome. All right, well, guys, make sure you are following Win the Gray for his random fun little clips like this on YouTube. So you do a little bit of content, right? We got some posts there for your clears.
Yep. Yeah, I did a Celine clear for this last cycle, so I'd never seen her before.
Yeah. That's right, I have to still do that. Void Rift changed, that's the thing.
Yep.
All right, cool. All right, well, I will link his channel in the description below, guys. Thank you again for joining me, Win, and we'll see you in the next video.